Hey everyone, how's it going? So I have a wonderful guest today, but we wanted to warn you that we are both fighting a cold. And so comment if you're also fighting a cold or a flu, because I feel like so many people that I know are sick right now. So we are fighting flus and colds and whatever. And also our internet may or may not be so great. So bear with us, but please let us know that you are watching us. And I've got Ruby. She's Anna, but on Facebook, she goes by Ruby with us. And she's a wonderful world schooling mom. I'm super excited that she's joining us today because she's kind of the queen of credit card, mileage, points, and travel hacking and all of that. So anyway, welcome, Anna. How are you? Or Ruby, we're calling you Ruby today. How are you?
Hello, Liz. Good, I'm fine. A little bit sick, but thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, and let us know where you are in the world right now.
I am in Pattaya City in Thailand.
Nice.
We just got here 2 days ago.
Oh, good, good. And where were you before?
We were in Pai at the north, but it seems like the burning season started already. So it was like very smoky and we had to escape. So it was like a decision of like, let's go south anywhere we find.
Yeah, I can't believe already in January, still in January, they're starting it earlier and earlier every year.
Yeah, it seems like there is like a new law that they cannot burn anything after like March 1st or something like that. So they're like starting earlier and it's pretty bad.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, in parts of Asia and other parts of the world, the farmers burn their fields after they harvest their crops, and it causes obviously horrible pollution. And I don't know why the government doesn't stop it. I think they try to minimize it, but it makes it really difficult for the people living there. And I was in Chiang Mai, Thailand a few years ago when it happened. And I paid rent for that month where I was staying, and I had to leave because it was hard for me. My lymph nodes were all swollen and I just had to go to the south of Thailand.
Yeah, exactly. We had to leave too because we were going to Chiang Mai and we're gonna lose the flight because we're not gonna take it. We just left, so we're losing the flight, but yeah, it's not worth it. Health is more important.
Sorry, let me start putting a cough drop in my mouth. Okay, so Anna, Ruby, let me know where you are from. Where are you living? I mean, where do you?
I am Colombian, but I've been living in the US for the last 25 years.
Okay, what part of the US?
Wisconsin.
Oh, Wisconsin. Okay, great. Nice in the Midwest. Okay, so I have a bunch of questions to ask you, but first I wanted to ask you a little bit about your family, and then we'll get into kind of the money hacking stuff. You have 2 kids, correct? They're pretty young. How old are they?
Yeah, they're little. My daughter just turned 7 and the little one is gonna be 5 next month.
Okay. And how long have you guys been traveling and world schooling?
So we have been traveling since they were born, since before they were born, but like world schooling, like seriously, 3 years ago. This is our 3rd year.
Okay. And you and your husband, is he Colombian or American?
He's American. He's from Wisconsin.
Okay. Oh, good. Got it. Okay. And so you guys traveled before you had kids, yes?
Yes. Actually, we met in Match.com. And like my description of what I wanted, it was like, it needs to have like someone that has a passport and is not scared to use it. I was like very clear that it has to be someone that wants to travel. Yeah, and he traveled before, so that was like, I think, one of the things that got us together.
Yeah, that's a prerequisite, number one. Okay, so where have you been, and where have you been your favorite places? I mean, with your kids.
Yeah, so we just started our Southeast Asia in October. So we've been to Vietnam and now Thailand, and we really love Vietnam. Last year we did Colombia and Mexico. I don't think I can find like a favorite place. Like every place has like beautiful things. There was like a little city in Colombia that we really loved. And the year before we did like a road trip around the US. Yeah, we've been
also in the US and outside.
Canada. We also went to Uruguay, Chile, Argentina, like South America.
Yeah.
We did a little bit of Europe too. I don't think I can pick a favorite one though.
It's hard. I know. I have like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 favorites.
Exactly. Like I can give you my 20 favorite ones.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now before you started traveling with your kids, because obviously you traveled with your husband before you had kids, was there any preparation that you had to do? Like what kind of learning did you have to do about like traveling abroad with kids?
No, not much really, because we started traveling as soon as the baby was like 2 months old.
Okay.
So those pack diapers. That was
Yeah,
the only difference.
And did you wear a sling or something and bring a stroller?
The baby carrier, an Ergo 360, and that was like lifesaver.
Okay.
That was amazing to travel, yeah.
And did you have your babies sleep with you or try to get a place with a crib?
No, we always have done like bed sharing. We always sleep together, which is, it has like, it's not so easy when you're traveling because a lot of times they have just one bed and we need to join beds so everybody can sleep together. And sometimes these beds are like drilled to like a piece of furniture. So sometimes we have gone to Lowe's or Home Depot to buy a drill to be able to, it's like really crazy.
While you're traveling.
Yes.
To fix everything nice. That's so funny.
To be able to have our beds together, because otherwise we're not going to be comfortable. And it's part of, you know, like we always say, we're not really just being tourists. This is our life. So we need to make sure that we are like still sleeping together, that we're still like doing as much as the same things as we can.
Right, right. Now your kids are a bit young, but is socializing with other locals or world schoolers or expat, is that important for you?
It is very important because they are young. I think it's easier. I don't know, maybe in a couple of years, I'll see if it was easier or not. But at this point, they make friends with everybody. So it's so easy. They go to any park, they make friends. So it's easy for you to make friends with the parents. I love putting them in classes. Every time we go to a different place, I find classes, baking classes, dancing, music, gymnastics. They love that stuff. And then they make friends. And sometimes they're friends that with the ones we hang out for the whole month, and sometimes not. It depends. And in Pai, Thailand, just last week, it was our first Worldschooling hub. We've never been to one, and that was the first one. It was very nice because we got together with around 8, 9 families. So it was really interesting.
How was it? Because is that a new hub?
I think so. I think this was the first time. It was really nice. It was like most people were from UK and there were only like a couple of Americans and then one family from Spain. And it was really nice. They stayed there the whole month of December and we got at beginning of January. So we didn't get to like got together so much with everybody because they have been already like developing a friendship. But we stayed 3 weeks and it was really nice. Like some of them were leaving, but yeah, it was so nice to share time with other families doing the same. Like it gives you like, it inspires you and also makes you feel normal. It was really fun.
We're not the only crazy people in the world.
Right?
Oh, good. Okay. Well, so what, you know, how has your journey benefited your life with your kids? Because you live in the US sometimes, but then you go travel, right? You're kind of off and on world schooling and traveling.
Yeah, so Wisconsin is so cold. Sometimes we get snow from October to May. I'm not even kidding. So that's basically what made us start Worldschooling. I was like, I can't do it.
Escape the winter.
Too tough on me. So we leave in October and we come back at the end of July. It depends. And then we spend summer in Wisconsin. Like we still want to go and see friends, family, and see our house.
Yeah.
And give the kids a little bit of like normality having a house.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
So you have a house, and what do you do with your house when you're traveling?
So we rent it. We have like 5 different platforms, but we always try to rent it for a long term. So we try to find tenants that are going to be like for at least 3 or 4 months, because Airbnb and Verbo, if you're going to do it like every 3 days, every 4 days, and long distance, it's difficult. So we try to find, and we have had like traveling nurses and families that are coming for a surgery, like all kind of people. They stay for 3 months or 4 months, 5 months. Right now we have a family for 5 months. So it has.
How do you find them? How do you find them if you don't want to do Airbnb? Like the traveling nurse websites?
Yeah, the Furnish Finder. That's the one. And then we also post in Zillow.
Zillow has a rent.
Yeah, you can also do short term there. We also post in Airbnb and Verbo, but then we block it that it can only be booked for like at least 3 months. So nobody can see the house unless they're booking for 3 months.
Interesting. Okay. That's interesting. So, okay. So what challenges have you had while traveling? I mean, then we'll get into more of the money stuff, but any challenges that you guys have?
Yeah, totally.
It's not all perfect traveling. There's mistakes and hiccups happen.
We are well known for missing flights.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what happened? You lose the money on that, or because
I book on points is not so terrible, and I think that's why we're not so organized with that. Okay. My family trusts me so much, you know. I like book the flights and everything, and then when they ask me what time is the flight, I say I think it's at 12 or at 1. I'm not sure, and then when I go and look, oops, it was at 10.
Oh no.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty bad.
Okay. Okay. And so lesson learned. Try to check before. So I mean, we're learning your lessons, like your mistakes. We're trying to learn from them. So thank you. I have plenty to share with those too.
No. Yeah, I used to be very organized and have everything, but I think that with internet, because we don't have to print itineraries anymore, I don't have to write it down. It actually should be easier, but for me it's not, because I'm like, oh, I have everything there. I don't need to check.
You know what? I just heard of an app. I think it's called TripIt or something. There's an app that, okay, that organizes your flights and it'll check your email and have everything in one place, right?
It's so amazing because it will scan your email and it will add all the hotels, all the trains, all the flights, or the buses, all reservations you have. So I have here, I don't think that you can see it.
It's all blurry, but.
I have like Southeast Asia trip, Indianapolis trip, Medellin, Colombia trip. It just like tags everything. It puts it together. Okay. So I have all my flights, all my hotels. So it's pretty cool. Also, like I can go and see where we got, where was the flight.
Okay. So it's worthwhile for me to get. I mean, it's free, right?
Totally, it's free. Okay. It's so nice. Yeah.
I should get that. Sorry, go ahead.
You just log in and you see the whole itinerary. You're like, oh, okay, so I have a flight at this time. This is the hotel where we're going to go. So you don't have to be looking on your email. What's the address of the hotel? What's the Airbnb is? What's, you know, it just has like all the information all together. Yeah. It's really cool.
I like how it's by the trip, because sometimes I will book a lot of stuff and I do have a folder in my email where I store all the travel stuff, but sometimes I have to scroll to find that one thing that I booked many months ago, but I need for tomorrow. So that's a really good idea. Okay, so you've had some hiccups with that. Any other challenges?
Yeah, and also when you're checking in on Airbnbs, we like to rent apartments. That we try to do that more than hotels because we like having a kitchen. And some Airbnbs is like, there is nothing in them. You know, this one we found is really nice. It's a beautiful open house, but there is not a kitchen. So kitchen? I was like, what is the kitchen? He's like, oh, this one is like a little stove downstairs, and that's it.
Oh my gosh.
So today he bought a little refrigerator, but still there is not a peeler, there is not a blender, there is nothing. So you're still without a kitchen. And that frustrates me a little bit. Like I miss having a kitchen and being able to cook and do so. Yeah,
it's important for me too. And I make sure if they don't have a picture of the kitchen, I'll send a message to the host and say, before I booked, can you please send me a picture of the kitchen or upload it or something? I think a lot of Airbnb hosts are new and they just don't know what to post, and they have bad pictures and they're dark.
Yeah. And there are some little things that you just don't even think about asking. Like they don't have sheets. They have like the bed sheet, the fitted sheet, but no sheet to cover. They just have like a blanket. I'm like, I kind of need a sheet because it's hot. Little things like that.
Right. Interesting. Yeah. So I guess you have to ask questions, but sometimes if you're a new traveler, you don't know the questions to ask the host and stuff.
Yeah, stuff that you start learning with time, and then you know what to ask. And also you learn that there are some things that you can ask your host to get you. Like, listen, can I don't know, can I have an extra pillow? There is only 2 pillows and there is 4 people. So there are some little things. In Colombia, I had an experience that there were like no hand towels. There was no towels at all. I'm like, I need towels. They're like, oh, it's not included. I'm like, no, wait. I'm going to stay here for 2 weeks. I'm not going to go and buy towels.
Right.
So they went and bought me.
Yeah, I stayed in a place in Tokyo that had a mini kitchen, but no pots and pans. And like, you know, they expected me to just go to the 7-Eleven and just they had a microwave stuff and eat it from the container, I guess. But I was like, no, I kind of want to cook myself breakfast. And so they went and bought it. But it's so surprising how some people just don't have equipment, you know? Yes. Okay, I just want to check the messages. Folks, if you're watching, please go ahead and ask Ruby some questions about her travel experiences and how the family, we've got like 6 people watching. So I think, so go ahead and ask some questions. I guess, you know, I just want to know, you know, how you guys have been doing with the traveling with the little kids. You've been to many countries. You've had, like all of us, some hiccups, and I'm sure some wonderful moments too. So what have been like the great benefits to your family to leave Wisconsin and travel? I mean, I'm guessing your kids get to hear the Spanish language above and beyond you speaking to them, right?
Yeah, we're bilingual, fully bilingual. They do speak more Spanish than English. We speak in Spanish because we knew that English was going to come with traveling and with life. So we made sure to speak well Spanish at home. Okay. So like when we're traveling, I have realized that their English level is much better. Because we don't do school, so they don't really go like to, you know, to learn anything in a school. So they learn with traveling, and their English level is like much better now. And just like seeing their curiosity, they get like so curious with things. When we went to Vietnam, they saw the little Buddha in every taxi, in every Grab that we got in, and they were like, okay, so are they Catholic? Are they Buddha? What do they do? So we will talk about it and see them like. My son, he's 4 years old, and you ask him, oh, so what languages do you speak? And he will say, oh, Spanish, English, Vietnamese, and Thai. Say thank you, hello, and like seeing them learning words and trying to talk to other people in their language, you know, respecting their culture is like so amazing.
I love that. Yeah, we try to at least say the basics. Okay, so how do you and your husband fund your travels?
Okay, so like I said, we have our Airbnb in our house. I keep calling it Airbnb, but it's a short-term rental. And that helps a lot. You know, that the money that we get for that not only pays our bills at home and our mortgage and everything, but it gives us a little bit extra. And I'd say that that's for food and for entertainment. We are a pretty frugal family. We don't spend a lot of money because we know that the less money that we spend, the more places we can go. So we don't buy souvenirs. We don't buy like nothing. We are traveling on a backpack. The kids know that for Christmas, they can have like one thing because otherwise it doesn't fit in the backpack. And it has happened that when we go to other countries and they get gifts, we have to leave them because we cannot take them. Yeah. So we are very conscious about that. And we don't buy a lot of stuff. So we don't need a lot of money because we are living, I wouldn't say on a budget because we don't really count, but we are very frugal and we know that we can be spending.
What's your typical monthly budget? I mean, I know it varies depending on where you are in the world.
Yeah, I was going to say also that because we travel on points, we haven't paid for a flight in over 6 years. So that helps our budget so much. And then because of that, because I get free tickets and free hotels, not the Airbnbs, but the free hotels, yes, then I don't have to budget so much, you know, because my flights are free, my hotels are free. So I would say that it's between $500 and $700 a month. And this is in food, in entertainment, and in maybe 1,000 if we have to pay the Airbnb too.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I try gift cards for Airbnb and I'm always like doing little hacks.
Okay, so Ruby, explain to us. I mean, I'm kind of new to this. I have an American Airlines, I think, City Advantage card, but I don't know. I mean, other than that, I haven't really tried to use these credit cards to get miles. So let us know how you do it. And I'm guessing you have like spreadsheets or something to be able to keep track. of it. So let me know how does it work?
Okay, so travel hacking is traveling with points and miles. And I always say the United States has a terrible healthcare system, but has an amazing points system, which for me, it makes up for it, you know? So it doesn't work in other countries. There are some offers in Australia.
So Europe and other countries, other developed countries, they don't have this situation?
No, they have some offers in Australia, some offers in Canada, and some offers in the UK. I know like little, maybe like Colombia has one with Avianca. They all have like little, but United States is like
tons.
So many.
Okay.
That I'm like, everybody should be taking advantage of it. And they have so many because it's a country where they want us to spend money. So all the banks want us spending money. So they're going to be offering, you know. So the bank offers you a bonus on points for you to sign up. So for example, Chase, which is like the best one and the one that you want to start with, they offer you, get this card and you're going to get 90,000 points if you spend $6,000 in 3 months. Okay. So you go and you spend your 6,000, and I always tell people, don't go and buy stuff that you don't need. It's not like you're going to go shopping and spending 6,000, because then that's not free traveling. You're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah.
What you pay is your electricity, your internet, your phone, your health insurance, your car insurance, like
everything you can.
Yeah, and you have 3 months. So maybe 2,000 is not so difficult. And if it's difficult, I always like to ask friends or family, can I pay this for you? Can I pay that for you, to try to get my bonus? With 90,000 points, you can buy 2 round-trip tickets from New York to Spain easily.
Great, okay.
Well, you go, you got 2 tickets out of that card. So after that card, you're gonna move on to the next one. The thing is, like, you're never gonna travel for free with one single credit card. Everybody asks, which one is the best? I'm like, there is no best. If there was one that was the best, we will all have that one.
Okay, so, but should we apply to many at once? Because I heard it's kind of bad for your credit score to do that, like one at a time?
Yeah, one at a time. You work on your bonus. It's not really about the credit score. It's most that you're gonna have to spend the money. So if you get like 5 cards, how are you gonna spend all of this money within the 3 months? And then you're gonna go nuts too. You need to put everything in your spreadsheet. So credit score, my credit score is over 100. And I have a lot of credit cards, many. As long as you're gonna pay on time and you're not gonna use more than 20% of the utilization ratio, you're fine. Your credit score is gonna keep going up. Even if you open another card and another card, you're using, you're paying, you're using, you're paying. That's how the credit goes.
Yeah, but do you need really good credit to be able to do this?
You need good credit. Although I've had people that I help we create in 650, 660, and we start like that. Like, okay, apply to one, start paying on time, and then your credit is gonna start going up. And then your credit will be in 800 in no time.
Okay, good, okay. All right, so you play this game where you get a credit card, you have to spend X number per 3 months, whatever, and then get the next one and the next one. And so eventually you're gonna have many cards and you're gonna have many flights. But they're on different airlines, yes?
Okay, so it's like different currencies, just like having American dollars or euros. It's the same with the points. You want to have points on Chase, which are transferable. You can transfer to different airlines. So they're really good because they're like having American dollars, let's say. You can transfer to United, you can transfer to Southwest, you can transfer to like many, and you can also transfer to hotels. So that's why they're really good. Then you're gonna want to have some American Express too, because they work different. They go to different partners. Then I like having Capital One too, because they have like also, like for example, the ticket that we just booked from Pai to Pattaya City, where we are, in the portal of Chase, it was like $150 each. So I went and checked on my Capital One, which I also have points for them, and it was only like $40 because they have like low-cost airlines that Chase doesn't have. So I just go and see where can I book it. So we booked the ticket for free, 4 tickets.
Okay, but what about annual fees? A lot of the credit cards have those. It's so still worth paying that?
It depends. So I always tell people to start with the free ones, and you only pay the annual fee if you're really gonna take advantage of it. Okay. Sometimes one card, like for example, the Capital One, I really love that one. it costs $395. It's so much money. Yeah. But it gives you a credit of $300 on traveling. You just book through a portal, something that is $300, and they give you a credit. So you're only paying $95, but they also give you priority pass. And with priority pass, you can access the lounges in the airports. So our family, just in the last 2 months, we have been to 5 lounges. 5 lounges, having a meal for 4 people and getting some water and some snacks for the rest of the day. That's more than the $95. So I love that benefit. Okay. So in that case, worth it. But I see also people having, I have these 3 cards and I pay an annual fee. I'm like, why is it giving you? You have to check. You have to have a strategy.
Okay. That yeah, I'm jazzed up. I'm gonna start doing this. It just takes time, I think a little bit. You said you also make a little extra money doing bank bonuses. What is that?
So I do bank bonuses, and it's almost the same thing as the travel credit card hacks.
Okay.
It's banks that offer you a bonus for signing up for a checking account. So it doesn't have anything to do with your credit score. It's just a bank account. Like, let's say, PNC, they send you an offer, and they're like public offers. It doesn't have to be targeted, although sometimes they're targeted too. So let's say you find one for PNC, and they say, get $300 if you have 2 direct deposits in 2 months, or if you have $10,000 in 3 months. They have different requirements. So when I started very little, doing 1 every month, maybe 2 every month. And now, because I got experience now and I know like all the hacks and stuff, I do 3 and 4 a month. So that's like about $400, $600 extra a month, which I say that's what covers our Airbnbs. Mm-hmm. I always say I travel for free because my tickets are free, my hotels are free, and my Airbnbs, I mean, it's not really free because I'm working for it. I'm opening the accounts, but it's not really a job. It takes me 10 minutes.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so you stay at hotels on points sometimes, and then your Airbnb, but you pay for your Airbnb, yes? Through the money you make bonuses and other stuff.
Yeah, Airbnb I pay, and they cover it with the bonuses that I made with the bank bonuses.
Okay. You also mentioned you do focus groups.
And I love those, which unfortunately here in Southeast Asia, I cannot do them because most of them, they want you to be on a call at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. and that's 3 a.m. over here. But when we went to Colombia last year, I did a lot of those. And focus groups is just like studies, research studies. So sometimes it's in voting, or sometimes they want to just talk about shampoo. They want to talk about diapers. So there is a study to apply. Sometimes they call you like to 3 studies. Sometimes it's like a whole month and they don't call you for anything. So I just apply and apply and apply and apply until I get called.
And where do you apply? Where do you find these?
There is like so many. I can send you a list of all the places that I do, because I only do the ones that I know that are real, that is not going to be spam, that is not going to steal your information. So I have like a list of places.
Well, you have a blog, yes, or a Facebook group, correct?
I have the Facebook group, yeah.
Okay, so My Fire Path, correct, is your,
My Fire Path is the blog, but the blog is not really very...
Okay, your Facebook group is, you've got a lot of information in there, My Fire Path.
It's My Fire Path, and then it says free traveling, frugality, and financial independence.
Okay. And for those who are not aware of the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early, can you elaborate on that a little bit more? And I wish I started on that many years ago.
I know. So the FIRE movement is financial independence, retire early. And also I found it like, I think it was 4 years ago, maybe 5. So it's like a movement that is going to teach you to use better your money, to be smarter with your money, to invest it, to live on a budget, or at least make more money and use your money in the best way so you can retire. So you're not working 9 to 6 and having this life that most of us don't like. When we started, we were like, we had no money. Like we were living one salary and we were paycheck to paycheck. When I found out about this, we read all the books. I got like pretty obsessed. We both got 2 jobs. My husband got a side job. I got 2 jobs too. I was doing surveys for money. I was doing all the bank bonuses, all the focus groups. And we started like making money and like not spending a cent. And with that, we were able to buy some properties. And now that we have also rental properties, we were able to retire within 2 years. Because now my husband works kind of like for fun because he still wants to work. And I work in my travel hacking, in my bank bonuses, just to cover our Worldschooling path.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so whatever work you do, is it mostly remote kind of online stuff, or do you pick up work when you're in Wisconsin?
No, now because we are already fired, we don't have to work anymore. So we have the rentals and we have the house. And now I just do the bank bonuses and what we have been talking about.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, no, this is incredible because people think that you have to be rich to World School and spend a lot of money traveling, and you're not working like crazy hours. You spend 10 minutes doing that, and you're very organized with your credit card points and all the travel hacking. And so I'm guessing you have more free time to be with your kids.
Totally. Like I work, like sometimes we are sleeping or I'm putting them for a nap or something, and then I'm on my phone opening a bank account. I'm like, okay, nice. $200 for next month because I'm making money for next month. Or like we are sometimes when they're in a class. Every time that they're in a class, on a baking class or something, I always take my computer, I take my notebook, and then I start looking at my bank bonuses, I start looking on my points, if I need more on this one, if I can apply for a next one. So it really, I work on the go. And my priority is the kids. So once that I'm playing in a bouncing house or something like that, I'm like, okay, now I can work while you guys are busy.
Wow, that is amazing. You're so smart and so organized and so efficient. I wish I was more like you, Ruby.
I'm not that organized though.
No, I mean, these are things I've wanted to do. I just need to do them. So I hope to learn from you. Now we don't have a lot of people watching right now. We have about 4 people. So, hey, 4 people, say, hey, ask Ruby some questions. I think this is the time of day. I usually do my Facebook Lives later in the day. I'm in Bansko, Bulgaria. This is a picture from Bansko. Usually evening my time when more people are awake in Europe and the Americas. But if you're here, if you have any questions for Ruby, let us know. And we will put her Facebook group in the comments. Also, maybe Ruby, you can come back later if people watch the replay. And if they have any questions, that would be great. Okay, so let's talk about education. Your kids are young, but you are unschooling. So talk a little bit about that. I mean, obviously they're soaking in like what they're learning from traveling and the languages and the food. And then you were mentioning the Buddhas and all that. What kind of stuff have they been exposed to?
Yeah, so because they're little, we're still like not too worried about the things that they haven't been learning. And actually, I think that they have been learning more than they should, you know, like in a normal school. We don't, my daughter, she's 7, and we don't sit and do classes. I don't have a curriculum. We don't follow like any books or anything. We just do whatever we feel like. So whenever they wanna write something, they come and they tell me how to write it. So we do go to libraries every time. Like in every city that we are, we go to a library. So they keep reading. And I think that that's so important for them to learn to read and to write. So they're both learning on their own.
English and Spanish?
Well, when we're over here, it's in English. But last year that we did Colombia, because last year we did Colombia for 7 months, it was Spanish books. So I love that we try to also do one, no country, but like one area that speaks Spanish 1 year and next year in English, to make sure that they're gonna be having like access to both languages. Yeah, and just now this year we have started like implementing also paying. We give them the money, go and pay, make sure that you get how much money. This is 100, so make sure that they're gonna give you. So it's like counting. So it's like they're learning math by living, you know.
That's awesome. Okay, so I think my group is really to help World School newbies. I mean, of course, experienced World Schoolers are welcome to join us and participate in our conversations, but I want to interview other World Schooling families and service providers, because I really want World School newbies who are a little nervous and afraid for them to have more confidence to World School. So what tips would you have to people who are dreaming about this lifestyle, but something's holding them back. Maybe they're worried about the financial thing, or, you know, they're afraid that their kids are going to end up being all messed up. What would you advise?
Oh my goodness. One thing that a lot of people ask me is, how do I find classes and how do I find things to do? So I think that that's going to be my tip. Whenever we get to a city, and sometimes I do it in advance, I join the expats Facebook group and I ask there. I always go and say, hey, I'm new homeschooling mom here, or Worldschooling, whatever. Are there any classes? Is there anyone? And I get like people sending me classes, or maybe another family. I like, oh, I'm here too, let's get together. So I think that that's very important to socialize, not only for the kids, but also for us.
Yeah.
Because being with the kids and with the husband, if you have one all the time, is like, oh, very difficult. So it's important to try to meet other people, important to try to make other friends. I also go to the libraries, and in the libraries, there is always information about activities in the city. So that's the most important. And also on Facebook, I look classes for kids, classes or activities. I do like search of like many words until I find something, and then I make sure to go to these things. Something else that I think is very important for new people and for the ones that are not so new, is that mental health is so important. I always say, if you're sad in your house, you're still gonna be sad here. It's not gonna fix those problems. It's gonna fix a lot of things, because when you're traveling, yeah, there is excitement, there is new things, there is less work. You don't have all these errands at home. You don't have like all the family activities and stuff like that. So that's gonna be fixed. But other things that you have, this is the moment to work on them. And when you're traveling, I find like so many places that do exercises for breathing, like deep work breathing or yoga, meditation, tarot reading, whatever you are into, is much cheaper when we are traveling. And you need to take care of yourself when you're traveling and when you're home too. So
that's so true. I mean, some of us, you know, are traveling and we are working full time, so we're kind of busy, but I think the dream, or what we're all working towards, is not to have to travel so much or work so much, because we're usually in lower cost of living countries. So we don't need to make that 100,000 plus a year to support our lifestyle, because, you know, I mean, unless you're hanging out in Switzerland and other, you know, expensive countries. So we are able to work less possibly and have more time for ourselves, for our kids, for self-care, for your partner. I mean, it's so much nicer than the hectic, jam-packed schedule life of what we used to live back home. So would you agree with that?
Yeah, totally. And I think that it's also important to set goals every time that you go to a city. You know, like, I'm gonna be here, what do I want from this city? And for example, I wanna work out more. This is the moment to start working out more, because you are going to the beach, because you're going to ski, because whatever it is, and make sure to make these things, because you are traveling for that reason. You know, it's not about just like going places, it's continue with your life and making the best of it.
Yeah, I definitely walk more when I'm traveling, because, you know, I don't want to just walk around my boring hometown, but I love walking around new cities and going up hills and going up the, you know, the church bells at the top. I like to see the nice views and go hiking. So yeah, I actually try to get in better shape when I'm traveling. Not right now, since I'm sick. Okay, Jeff is here and he has a question. How do you organize all the accounts, Ruby? Do you use a spreadsheet, or is there an app, or are you old school doing it from memory or on paper?
No, I do have a spreadsheet. I'm sorry. I have a spreadsheet, very organized. One for the travel credit cards and one for the bank bonuses. They are online, and there is also some apps. There are apps that tell you all the loyalty numbers and how many points you have and how much more time do you have to meet your minimum spend so you get the bonus. There is like, yeah, a lot of
Do you remember the name of the apps? And if not, can you come back later and post them?
Yeah, I can come back later, but let me see here. I have like
I guess for me, I would need the spreadsheet, you know, like the rules, like, you know, you have to spend $6,000 within 3 months, right? and I would need to like schedule the deadlines for that, right? And then I have a question. So once you open all these cards, do you keep them all forever, or do you close some of them? Because I think it's also bad for your credit score if you're closing accounts, right?
Okay. So first about the spreadsheet, I have a nice spreadsheet that I can send you. I always share the link. The credit cards, so there is a strategy for everything. Yeah, there are some that you don't want to close because the bonus is only once in a lifetime. So for example, American Express, they won't give you back, they won't give you again the bonus. So you want to keep that one if it's something that you're going to be using. Some cards that are giving you insurance, like travel insurance or the priority pass, maybe you don't want to, but it depends on every person. Like there is no like a list of rules for everybody. It has to be like a case on case scenario. Like for example, for me, there are like some cards for hotels that I keep because they're $95 annual fee, but they give me one night for free. And I am someone that I'm going to be using the night. But I know a lot of people that they paid and then they don't use the night because they didn't travel that year. And it's like, then don't pay for it. Then you cancel it or downgrade. Try to downgrade to cheaper cards.
Yeah, it's a lot of details to keep track of. And so I guess you need a spreadsheet and I don't know, color code them. I have no idea how you would be that organized.
I have a spreadsheet with everything very well, like all the details there. So there is like no way to miss out.
Okay, so you talk about this more in your Facebook group, yes?
Yeah, and I have a one-on-one program that is free because every time that, like, if you use my referral, I get points. So that's also how I found my traveling, not only with my spending, but like then I do the one-on-one, explain you what to do, how to do it, and then you use the referral. I don't know, all of them have referrals and it's okay. I want people to get traveling.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I'll tell you like, okay, downgrade this one, keep it. If you think that this is something important for your family, then you keep that one or that one is not worth it.
Wow, that's great that you offer this free service because again, you're getting the referral fees that helps you too. That's wonderful.
I tell people, it's free, but you're basically paying for it because you are giving me a referral. So ask questions, keep me busy because I'm here to help you and you're helping me.
Totally. Okay. So everyone, if you're interested, join Ruby's group and reach out to her to schedule a one-on-one. I think I may do that too. Any last minute tips or advice for the newbies out there, whether it's about your credit card points, your travel hacking, or just, I don't know, getting the courage to actually live this lifestyle?
Yeah. One of the things also that, sorry, that I see people, I'm sorry.
No, this is
about,
a cough drop.
Yeah. Okay. It's about what to bring. Do I bring medications? Do I bring this in case of that? Do I bring toys? Do I bring this? And then they have a ton of suitcases. We are a minimalistic family. We travel with one backpack each. My son has a little backpack with his bathing suit, his basic clothing, which is like 4 shorts and 4 t-shirts, and that's it. And he has like coloring pencils and a couple books, like activity books, like, you know. Same for my daughter, same for me. And wherever you go, there is everything. Like I see people traveling with like a case of diapers, like there is diapers over there. Or like, there are some little things that maybe you want to bring from your country. There are things that I bring, like my Castile bar soap. I like that one. I bring my straws, my stainless steel straws, because I want to try to avoid using so much plastic, my bamboo utensils, and we try to say no to plastic to try to help a little bit the environment. But there is everything everywhere. You can find everything. If you forgot your hat, don't worry. Don't go nuts, because how am I going to go to the beach without a hat? You're going to be able to find a hat over there.
Yeah, I'm not as minimalistic as you. I do have a packing video on YouTube, which is about an hour long. So everyone find my YouTube channel, Trailblazing Families. And if you're watching this on YouTube, because I'm going to post this later, join our Facebook group, Worldschooling, Traveling, Digital Nomad, Trailblazing Families. And yeah, thank you so much, Ruby, for sharing all of your experience and your expertise on this. And please, everyone, if you're watching this on replay, just click hashtag replay. Feel free to tag Ruby, and hopefully she'll come back later and, you know, answer your questions. So thanks so much, Ruby.
Yeah, thank you so much. I hope you get well.
You too.